Welcome to Yoga Berry, your yoga for scoliosis community. Today I will show you a great seated twist which you can practice, which is very safe for scoliosis, and twists can be really great to derotate the spine. As we know, scoliosis doesn't only come with a sideward bend, but it also comes with a rotation. So very important to practice your twists, but we want to practice them in a very safe and in a constructive way. So all that you need for this practice today is a chair. And if you have a lumbar scoliosis, you might want to use a hand towel, and then I'm using a yoga block as well. If you don't have a yoga block, you can use a cushion as well. My name is Christine Jareggi-Berry. I'm a yoga teacher and I specialize in yoga for scoliosis. For some more information on myself, on my online courses, please check out my website and you can see everything in the description below. So we're going to start sitting on the chair, as this is a seated twist, and we're going to put the block in between the inner thighs. So the inner thighs and the knees are supported, and this is really to keep some activity here, some activity in the lower body. The legs are actively squeezing the block. And then from there, so first of all, see if you can really sit up tall. You can see that I've got the back side of the chair here to my right. So the first one that we're doing is twisting towards your right. Now let's think about a little bit about the scoliosis before we go into the twist. So very important to really know what's going on in your body. Scoliosis, convex side, so the curve where the side where the curve is going towards, that's where you've got a rotation backwards, which is why you have a hump, for example, if you have a thoracic scoliosis, or a nicer way, if you don't want to say hump, maybe it's the mountain side of the body. If you have a lumbar scoliosis, it's a little bit harder to see, but you will have also a kind of a hump on the side where the convexity is. So for me, I have a left lumbar curve with a compensating right thoracic curve. So I do have an S curve, which is why I'm going to show you both the instructions for lumbar and for thoracic curves. If your curve is reversed, obviously you need to reverse the instructions. So you might just want to watch first and then practice with me afterwards. Good, so we are going to twist towards the right. So first of all, I want you to really lengthen up through the spine. And if you have a lumbar curve, a left lumbar curve, I want you to just bring a little bit of awareness to your left waist and see if you can slightly pull this in towards the midline. Now, if you have a thoracic curve or an S curve, and it's on the right side, you're going to slightly pull in from the right. So this is just a little bit, and you can use your hands to kind of push in a little bit. It doesn't have to be much. Really lengthening up through the spine. And then just simply bring your hands to the back of the chair. Now, if you have any sort of spinal fusion, I want you to be really careful with the twist, and you never want to kind of pull too much into it. Your muscles are still going to enjoy a little bit of a twist, but just don't overdo it. Now, if you don't have a spinal fusion, you don't have to worry about this so much. So what we're going to do is we're going to start derotating now if you have a lumbar scoliosis. So if you have a lumbar scoliosis and it's towards the left, you're really going to twist from the waist forwards towards the back of the chair. So this is a lovely way to derotate the lumbar spine on this side. Now, if you have a thoracic curve, then I don't want you to go into your full rotation here because you are actually going in towards your rotation. So if you have a thoracic curve, I want you to really pull in from the right side of the thoracic, and then just draw your right shoulder blade back because that side will need a little bit of opening at the front of the shoulder, but that's all that you're going to do. And then we stay here and breathe. You might hear that I find it a little bit more difficult to talk because we're really squeezing all the internal organs, and everything gets a really good squeeze and release as well. Good, so let's take one more breath here. And then we're just slowly going to release. Good, so just after your pose, after the twist, just notice how you feel before you come over to the other side. Good, so let's come over to the other side, and I've placed my block here again in between the inner thighs. Now I have a yoga chair and it slightly dips in the center and the outer edge is slightly higher, which for my lumbar scoliosis is not great, which is why I'm using this hand towel. So basically I put it under the left side, again I have a left lumbar scoliosis, to just raise the side slightly. So I just want to lift the sitting bones slightly and then let the right side drop. Now if your chair is quite level, you can still try it with a hand towel, but I'd rather that you use your muscles, so you can still pull in from the left side a little bit more and allow for the right side to lengthen. For your lumbar scoliosis on this side, I want you to really think about keeping the hips nice and level. So we don't want to pull the hips around now when you start twisting towards the left. So let's take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Just bring the hands to the back of the chair. Stay for a moment. Good. And then we're actively starting to twist. Now, if you have a thoracic scoliosis, this side is now the more important one. This is where you're derotating. So you really think about twisting from the rib cage. So starting to bring the right rib cage forwards without rounding the shoulder. So that's not what we want. We don't want the shoulder to start coming forward. So we're still keeping the side open, drawing in towards the midline, bringing the right rib cage forward, the left rib cage back. So there's a lot to think about. This is why twists are not beginner's poses. So let's take another couple of breaths. And I can really use that backrest of the chair here. So I can even slightly pull with one hand and then push with the other hand to twist myself around a little bit more. And then creating the space wherever I need it. So for a left lumbar curve, I want to keep the right side of the waist long. For the right thoracic curve, I want to keep the left side of the thoracic spine long. Good. And then slowly release when you had enough. Good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I do realize this is quite a complicated one. Which is why I haven't done so many videos on twists just yet, but hopefully you will have a few more coming up. And if you want to learn a little bit more about how to adjust your scoliosis for your curvature, then do join us in the next course, the next online course starting in February. You can still sign up. There is a 15% discount until mid-December. So do join us if you want to dive a little bit deeper into the topic, and I'll see you very soon for the next video.